Hafa my friends, and if you're watching us on KUAM TV or streaming us on Facebook, thank you for tuning in to Weekend Edition. I'm Jason Salas. Before we get to the latest with the efforts to contain COVID on our island, a message from another one of our island's frontline heroes.
Hafa, I'm Firefighter 1 Andy Lee from Guam Fire Department Search and Rescue. On behalf of our families, we ask that you keep us safe so that we can keep you safe. Stay home, Guam.
Now, there are literally thousands of island heroes that are risking their lives, and we want to show our appreciation to each and every one of them. We will continue to profile them and say thank you and Sidus Masi for keeping each and one of us safe. To your headlines now, here are the latest with containing COVID on Guam.
Good day, everybody. I'm Sabrina Salas Matanani with your latest on containing COVID. According to the latest information from the Joint Information Center released just before 10 o'clock on Friday night, the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 on Guam stands at 141 with 5 deaths and 128 recoveries. The Department of Public Health's community testing pilot project wrapped up at 12 o'clock noon on Saturday at the Estumbo Gym. Members of the Guam National Guard help control traffic and pedestrian flow. According to the Joint Information Center, 52 people were tested, 10 were walk-ins, and 42 came in through the drive-thru. Over the past couple of days, public health nurses canvassed the nearby Sagan-Linazan and Lower Estumbo areas to pre-screen residents and gave them a pass to get tested. Residents with mild COVID symptoms were urged to get tested. Public Health was aiming for a sample size of 100 residents. The pivot toward expanded testing is the next phase in the government's efforts to determine how widespread COVID is in the community. The results will be factored into the decisions that will be made to gradually reopen the island. Now that the government has increased its testing capabilities, residents who are experiencing COVID symptoms are urged to contact their physicians and get tested immediately. If you do not have a private physician, you are urged to contact any of Public Health's community health centers. The remaining economic impact payments that the government of Guam is advancing will be mailed out, according to the Department of Revenue and Taxation. About 3,800 checks were transmitted to the Treasurer of Guam. A total of 7,005 checks were printed for a cumulative total of nearly $11 million. These checks are for those individuals who filed and had income of less than $10,000. Checks were distributed in batches to allow for Guam's financial institutions to remain compliant with social distancing protocols. The remaining EIP checks are still pending approval of DRT's implementation plan by the IRS. President Donald Trump signed a new law that replenishes the Paycheck Protection Program with $320 billion in additional funding. Before the PPP ran out of funding, 508 local businesses received about $102 million in loans as part of the initial program, while several local companies were left out because it ran out of money. Guam SBA advises local companies to continue to meet with their bankers and make sure their paperwork is complete because, again, it will be on a first-come, first-served basis. As for the latest on the USS Theodore Roosevelt, 100% of the crew had been tested. 856 sailors testing positive with a little over 4,000 negative, and a small number of results are still pending. Of the total cases, 112 have recovered, with over 4,200 sailors moved ashore. 4 sailors are at Naval Hospital, with none in the ICU. It was announced earlier this week that sailors who are in quarantine hotels in Tumon will stay in quarantine for an additional week. The Navy confirming that more than 40 sailors who first tested negative have since tested positive. Chief Pentagon spokesperson Jonathan Hoffman.
That ship could pull up anchor and go to war right now if we needed it to. The timeline has shifted. As we've seen some additional symptomatic patients show up, or asymptomatic patients show up as positive. But that's out of caution. I mean, this is a learning environment. This is not something we've had to deal with. I think the hope from the Navy's perspective and from the Department's perspective is we would rather take a little bit more time on the front end to get to a place where we have more confidence that the crew is safe and that the virus is no longer on the ship than be in a position a month from now where we're dealing with a second wave. And so they're taking their time. They're relying on the doctors. They're relying on the testing. We've ramped up our ability to do testing in Guam so that we can get a larger number of tests done each day and rapidly. And we've seen that. We've gone through the entire crew has been tested, and we'll start to see additional people tested as we put people back on the ship.
Meanwhile, national media report that the recommendation to give TR Captain Brett Crozier back his ship was made by the Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Michael Gilday, who had ordered an investigation into his ousting. His recommendation to reinstate Crozier in effect exonerates the captain for blasting out an email warning sailors would die if the Navy did not act faster to get them off the infected ship. Defense Secretary Mark Esper has not yet decided whether to accept the recommendation. Crozier remains in isolation here on Guam and must test negative for the virus before he can rejoin his ship. For the very latest on containing COVID, make sure to check out all of KUAM's social media platforms. Again, everybody, we are all in this together. Stay home, mask up, and practice social distancing. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas Matanani.
In other island news headlines on Monday, a break-in was reported at Weddingale Elementary School. According to GDOE's Isabaza, a total of 3 rooms were broken into, adding this includes 2 classrooms left in disarray with tools and speakers missing. The incident was reported to the Guam Police Department, and according to agency spokesman Sergeant Paul Tapau, no suspects have yet to be identified. He adds if anyone has information, you can submit a tip. Their website address, which is completely anonymous, is guam.crimestoppersweb.com. Also tonight, Guahan Sustainable Culture put out call out to local farmers who are having trouble selling excess produce to the stores. And according to member Kristen Oberiano, the group set up a GoFundMe campaign in which the monies raised would go towards the purchase of the produce so the farmers would not have to worry about food spoilage. The produce would then be donated to organizations feeding island residents who desperately need food right now.
In the past 2 weeks alone, we raised $2,600 through our GoFundMe page from various donors who decided to give, anywhere from $10 to $200. And then we're using that money to pay the farmers for their goods. It's a way for farmers to not have any losses, or to at least mitigate some of their losses, and then reduce food waste out on the fields. More and more farmers are reaching out to us, telling us that they are willing to sell to us, and that's a really good thing.
Oboriano says they have been able to purchase more than 600 pounds of produce, such as eggplant and cucumbers, and they donated it to Catholic Social Services, the Salvation Army, and Oasis. They're currently working with the mayor's offices to establish a drive-through pickup service for families as well.
I think what we also want to do with this is to increase the food sovereignty mission on Guam, right? So often we're reliant on imports from the States. And we want to build an agricultural economy on Guam so that we don't have to rely on shipments from the States.
For more information, or if you would like to donate or volunteer and help them in their cause, you can find them on Facebook. They're at Guahan Sustainable Culture, and we applaud them and thank them for their service to our community. Well, the U.S. Department of Transportation's Maritime Administration, in other news, awarded $1 million in funding to Cabot Marine Corporation. It's one of 24 U.S. small shipyards receiving almost $20 million in discretionary grants through the Small Shipyard Grant Program. The funding will help modernize America's small shipyards, making them more efficient in constructing commercial vessels. District Court of Guam, the Judiciary of Guam, and the Guam Bar Association have partnered together to encourage students in grades 6th through 12th to become active students in our community with all 3 branches of government. The 2020 iCivics COVID-19 Educational Challenge is an educational outreach campaign online that recently launched that aims to keep kids entertained during this global pandemic. U.S. District Court of Guam Chief Judge Francis Tidingo Gatewood explains.
To reach out to our children who are at home going through online training and online school learning, and hopefully reaching out and looking at this civics education outreach. And so so it has a lot of educational games and lesson plans from the teachers, which will help promote civics education.
Meenakshi Heplani is the Vice President of the Guam Bar Association and hopes students and even teachers have fun with the online civic educational game and lesson plans. In the process, she says, they have a chance to win cash prizes by earning points every time that you log on.
At the end of the challenge, we will award cash prizes to the 3 highest points in middle school and high school. First place gets $200, second place gets $100, and third place gets $50. And then there's also special gift prizes to educators with the top 3 highest class participation.
You can register right now. Go to iCivics.org, that's iCivics.org, and make sure you enter the class code TAFT 71533. That's TAFT 71533. For more information, you can contact the Community Outreach Director, Stacey McDonald Flores. We got the number on KUAM.com. And also tonight, Graphic Center and Island Color and Copy recently installed a sign in front of GMH in Tamuning reading, "Heroes work here." Very true. According to the local companies, this was a small gesture to let frontliners know that they are appreciated, especially as they tirelessly work during the COVID-19 crisis. There are also plans to install more signs and banners at Guam Regional Medical City, here in Dededo, at Public Health, American Medical Center, the Seventh-day Adventist Clinic, and other island healthcare institutions. Well, please stay tuned when we come back. Daily maintenance and trend spotting.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Hafa, I'm Bernie Valencia with Matson. Our local Matson team understands that these are very trying times for everyone. Matson's top priority, like yours, is to keep our families safe and healthy and ensure you have what you need. We'd like to give you peace of mind that Matson's service continues unscheduled and uninterrupted. Matson is committed to our weekly service from the United States West Coast to Honolulu into Guam and Saipan. We are working with the Port Authority of Guam and providing the capacity and services our customers need so they can continue to meet your needs. Matson will take all appropriate measures to ensure continuity of service into Guam and Saipan. When we work together to take care of our family and neighbors, we will emerge from this as a stronger island community.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Port Authority of Guam, KUAM Communications, and Matson.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Hafa Guam, this is Rocky Martinez, local MMA fighter. I'm doing all my training at home, so man, I encourage you guys, please stay home. Let's help the community out. Let's help the hospitals, the doctors, the nurses, everybody on the front line. If we all stay home, it helps them out. And the sooner we can do this, the sooner we'll get done. So I encourage you guys, please be a team player for the community. We can all do this. We can all help each other. And man, let's get through this. We're a strong community. So again, I encourage you guys, please, please, please stay at home and stop the spread of the virus. Thank you.
This message has been brought to you by the KUAM Care Force.
Hello, I'm Sabrina Salas-Matanani.
And Hafa Day, everyone. I'm Chris Barnett. A few weeks ago, we launched our KUAM News COVID-19 Takeover weekday mornings on I-94 FM in an effort to keep you informed and to do our part to contain the spread of COVID-19 in our community.
At this time, we know how important keeping you informed is, as this pandemic has not only threatened our health and the health of our loved ones, but our livelihoods, our children and their education, and disrupted all of our lives.
We're all in this together, and as we face an uncertain weeks or months ahead, we will continue to broadcast our morning show to keep you connected with the most up-to-date information in this continually evolving situation.
There are several ways to watch or listen to our weekday morning program. Watch our Facebook live stream on the KUAM News Facebook page, listen to I-94 FM, that's 93.9, or listen to Docomo Pacific Channel 10 from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
On television, over the air, GTA, and Docomo Pacific, watch the KUAM News COVID-19 Takeover weekday mornings from 8 to 10 a.m. on KUAM TV 11.
As the media leader in the Marianas, we want you to know that we will do our very best to get you the answers you need, and together we'll get through this.
Join us in saluting those making strides and serving in our armed forces every Tuesday on the KUAM News Instagram account. These weekly posts round up profiles of Guamanians receiving accolades in the armed forces, those stationed on Guam making a difference in our community, and veterans being recognized for their service. Presented by Future Smiles Orthodontics. Build a brighter future with a brighter smile.
Okay, everybody, we are all doing the smart thing, and we are all being good island residents and taking care of ourselves and others by smartly staying inside. But your friends at Custom Fitness have some helpful workout tips that you can do right at home along with us. It's this week's installment of Daily Maintenance.
Howdy, this is Ryan Flowers from Custom Fitness, licensed physical therapist. Thank you again for joining us for our daily maintenance segment number 5. Well, last time we talked about the hip and we talked about how mobile it needed to be. Today we're going to talk about the knee. The knee is all about stability. As we begin to age, we see a decrease of range of motion, and then that is then accompanied by increase of pain, increase of stiffness, increase of swelling, all these things. The crazy thing about the knee is it's the number one site for non-specific traumatic pain. So meaning, everything around it, be it the hip or the ankle, is what's causing knee pain as opposed to the actual knee getting injured. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna show you 3 exercises. Since you guys have been so active, 3 exercises and modifications to get you guys back on your feet to decrease some of that knee pain. Coach Paul, come on, join me. Coach Paul, head coach from Custom Fitness. Here we go. So the first movement we're going to show you and demonstrate is a goblet squat. We've been being active all these home videos. We're going to show you the correct way how to do a goblet squat. Coach, we're going to do a side view, okay? We're going to do a side view. So all we're going to do is hips are going to be directly right underneath us. We're going to have an object right in front of you. On object doesn't matter. You could use a kettlebell. You could use any type of weight. We're using just a 12-pack of cans here. Hip will go back first. Hip goes back, and then we're just going to go ahead and come all the way down. Great thing about this exercise is, guess what? All we have to do is, if we're in any pain along the way, go ahead and stand up. We're going to go ahead, and either you can ditch the load. Okay, go ahead and come on down. If the load is too heavy, all you have to do is unload it. Go ahead and come on back up. And or go ahead and shorten our range of motion. And go ahead and come on up. All we're looking for is movement. Now, if that's even hurting, guess what? We just go to sit to stand. Everyone sits. Danny, here we go, coach. Boom. Again, holding that object right in front. Go ahead and stand. Boom. Standing completely up. Go ahead and shoot that hip back. All right. Everyone needs to do that. Guess what? If that's even hurting, coach, come on up. Boom. Let me grab that. We're just going to then go to our wall sits. Remember, no load, or we can go directly to the wall sit. Boom. And go ahead and come on down. Remember, cool thing about this, just change the angle if it's hurting. Go ahead and stand up a little bit more. Just make sure that your feet are directly under you. Pushing against like you're holding up the wall. All right, now, that's addressing the quads. Now we're going to get a little bit of that posterior chain or those hamstrings. Coach, all we're going to do is go ahead and stand. All right, going to go ahead and stand. We're going to go ahead and take one step up. All we're going to do is this kickstand action. He's like a kickstand where the bike would be. Go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and take that object. Go ahead and try to reach towards the ground. Try to keep that back nice and straight. Go ahead and come on up. Going to feel an engagement all the way through, a little bit through that lower back, but the majority should be through that hamstring. If it's too much pressure through that back, guess what? You just go ahead and go to mid-shin, coach, and go ahead and stand. All we're looking for is creating tension through that posterior chain. Again, kickstand motion, front foot is down, back foot is up with the heel off the ground, and we're just reaching towards the ground. Again, if we're having issues with the load, guess what? Give it a load. And just reach for the ground. That's all we're looking at. Sounds good? Sounds good. All right, last movement. Greatest movement of all. Some crab and zombie walks. All we're going to do is, feet are going to be directly underneath us right in there. Coach, we're going to face that direction. Good. Right? And all we're going to do is just from here. If you notice, just like a quad squat hold, all we're going to do is take these small little steps like a zombie. Coach, can you put your hands up like a zombie? There we go. We're going like a zombie. That's it. Keep on going. Now, if you have a mini bat at home, you can put it around. Remember, all we're looking at is for these small little steps. There we go. We're just going to put a bat, and what we want to be able to do, a couple positions you can put it on, depending on where you feel that. You can either put it on your mid-shin, around the knees. My personal favorite is around the feet. So we're just going to go mid-shin, right? And again, feet are directly underneath you. All we're looking at is goes quad squat, and you can put those hands out like a zombie there, coach. Train tracks right underneath us. We're just going to go forward, and then we can go ahead and come back, coach. And like we said, we want to work in all planes, so all we want to be able to do is go lateral left, and then lateral right. Right, So 3 basic movements that you can be working on at home to improve that knee strength and stability. We went over the goblet squat with a couple variations. We also went over a nice hamstring engagement activity, and then we kind of hit all those segments with the hip, knee, and ankle with those crab and zombie walks. Thank you for joining us again for our daily maintenance segment. Again, my name is Ryan Flowers from Custom Fitness, licensed physical therapist.
All right, thanks and shout out to our friends at Custom Fitness Gulf Megut for helping us all stay fit during the lockdown. Please stay tuned. We are back after.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
we are in it for the long run. So you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
Ruby Tuesday Guam is still preparing the dishes you love for either curbside carryout or delivery. Call them at 647-7828 or 647-7829 for curbside carryout service with a smile. For delivery, download the free Grab and Grub app and follow the instructions to get Ruby Tuesdays delivered to your door. Stay safe and healthy, Guam.
Day Marianas, this is Tomas Maglonia on the island of Saipan reminding you to stay home as much as possible. And when you have to leave your home for essential things, practice social distancing. Remember, you can still keep in touch with your loved ones online. We can get through this as one archipelago, one Marianas.
This message has been brought to you by the KUAM Care Force.
In order to win this war against COVID-19, it's going to take all of us to do our part.
We are all frontliners in this epic battle.
And on Tuesday, May 5th, we're asking you to answer the call to help by taking part in Giving Tuesday Now.
It's part of a global initiative to set aside this one day for the pandemic crisis.
To step up and give a donation to any of our island's nonprofit organizations.
The hospital, the Mayor's Council of Guam, or any of our frontline workers. Whether it's PPEs, gloves, masks, canned goods, no donation is too small. Anything and everything will help.
And if you make your donation, take a picture, post it on social media, and use the hashtag GivingTuesdayNow and GivingTuesdayGuam.
And then later that night, make sure to tune in for our half-hour special Giving Tuesday Guam, Together We Give. We'll showcase how everyone is taking part.
Papa Day, I'm Adriana Cotero. It's been over a month since we've been ordered to stay home, and with hardly any new viruses reported, there's talks of a recovery plan. In this week's Trend Spotting Report. Thank you for tuning in to Trend Spotting. Here are the stories that grabbed your attention. If the Guam Chamber of Commerce had it its way, you'd begin to see some businesses reopen as early as next week. A proposal by the organization made up of local businesses recommends opening certain services that with the gradual rollout would get the island opened up in about 2 months. All would require some of the protocols we continue to use today, including social distancing and sanitation protocols. For example, services that require close contact, including barbers, salons, gyms, and realtors, would require appointments. Shopping centers and malls would limit the number of customers inside at one time. The Chamber's proposal further states that by May 4th, all government offices and private sector businesses would open, with the exception of bars and sit-down service at restaurants. By the week of May 25th, all parks, restaurants, and gathering places would open up, and by June 22nd, just about everything resumes to normal operations. We asked you if you were for or against this aggressive reopening plan. Here's how you felt on the matter. Finally, the chamber also said the airport should start body temperature scanning, pre-boarding health surveys, and foot pad sterilization for all arriving passengers. Now that's just a proposal from the chamber. When it comes to the data that will help get us into recovery mode, Dr. Felix Cabrera shared some good news. He's part of the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group, which detailed a revised trajectory for the island's hospital capacity. So far, he says, mitigation efforts are working because we've helped flatten the curve significantly. The data shows that mitigation efforts are followed 2 weeks later by a decline of reported virus cases. Cabrera said, quote, "And we are successful in suppressing a major surge because of everyone's actions and because of the leadership of our governor. It's important we recognize this achievement, but the reality is that we still have a lot of work to do," unquote. This week yielded positive COVID-19 test results in the 0 to 1 range day after day. The low numbers, however, also reflect the extremely low number of people being tested for the disease. The governor said it's because there aren't as many people with symptoms availing themselves at clinics or the hospital to be tested. While seeing 0 to low numbers, Guam Memorial Hospital Administrator Lillian Posadas shared some more incredible news during one of the press briefings. Earlier this week, there were no COVID-19 patients in the public hospital's intensive care unit. And back to testing. The island is ramping up efforts to identify cases of COVID-19 on Guam, with the expansion of testing. Before, testing was limited to priority grouping, barring those who suspected they might have the virus from getting tested. Now you are encouraged to get tested in a clinic if you have symptoms that could be COVID-19 related. That includes fever, a cough, shortness of breath, a sore throat, diarrhea, loss of taste and smell. If you are a healthcare worker, first responder, or someone who cares for others in vulnerable populations, especially with any symptoms, you are also urged to get tested. With more equipment and materials, the government hopes to begin testing up to 250 people per day. Public Health this week also began its pilot program in Estembo Dededo, looking for pockets of infections inside certain communities. The ramped up testing is a big part of the next step to begin considering the island's road to recovery. Thank you for staying with KUAM on all our social media platforms. I'm Adriana Cotero for Trendspotting. Be safe.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
Hey, what's up, Marianas? This is Galvin De Leon Guerrero. I'm the president of Mount Carmel School here on Saipan. And I just wanted to send you all a really quick message to remember to stay home, stay safe, and stay informed. Okay? We need to break the chain of transmission by staying home, and that's the best way to protect our loved ones and our entire community. We also need to stay safe, so monitor your conditions and stay in touch with medical and health professionals as needed. And we also need to stay informed, okay? Let's not spread rumors through the coconut wireless. Let's get our news and notifications from official sources within the government, public health, as well as news outlets. By staying home, staying safe, and staying informed, that is how we stay strong as Marianas. Thank you, and God bless.
This message has been brought to you by the KUAM Care Force.
All right, everybody, it's time now for your weekend birthday shout-outs from Cold Stone Creamery. Your weekend birthdays are always fun and always special, so on Saturday, April 25th, happy birthday to Landon Brewster, who turns 13. Alexis Ashley Alisassis, happy birthday number 20. We'll celebrate when we're in the clear, says your family who's sending all of their love. Happy birthday number 14 to EJ Guerrero. Birthday blessings to our team beast, EJ. We love you and continue to strive for the goal. And also, Analaya Ha'ani Tyron. Happy birthday, lucky number 7 to my granddaughter. We love you from the family. And born on April 26th, which is Sunday, Clarissa Kakas. Happy birthday to you, and hope each and every one of you weekend birthday babies have the best birthday ever. Membership in the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club is super fast, super free, and super fun. So go to KUAM.com, click on the birthdays link, and you are in the club. please, everyone, take care of each other. Be good to each other. We are all in this together, and we will get through this. I'm Jason Salas, and we will see you next time.